Good morning, guys. I don't know how this background looks, but in here, this whole room is glowing. And I was recording this the other day and it just wasn't dialed in. It wasn't what it was supposed to be because I had the wrong internet connection. So we don't get our super fast internet for a couple more days. But enough about that. Let's talk about why are the walls glowing and why is my face glowing now? So I'm going to go over the XK Glow product line that I'm super pumped about. I kind of went over all this the other day, but it just doesn't matter because it's so good. It's worth talking about it as many times as I can. This is the same stuff we were supposed to put on the Toyota Supra for Formula D that just kind of had a little incident over the weekend in Long Beach. And a lot of these products would have got ripped off with the bumper and everything else. So that would have been wild. Anyway, I'm just going to go back over all of this stuff, talk about the products, what they do, and why they're super dope. And before anything else, I'll just tell you what it's called. It's called XK Chrome. That's the app that we use. It's actually, if you look, I got my phone here. It's got some settings on it that as I mess with them, it's going to change what's happening behind me. So the wall is changing whatever color I'm telling it to with this. If I plug in any of these strips that I have here, as I make adjustments on the phone, it's going to automatically just change all of that stuff. So if you check this guy out, it's going to go, there's a bunch of little preset options in here. And the one that people like, I think the most, is the little color wheel, where as you see right there, anywhere I move my finger on here, it's going to change that color. It's super cool. So let me talk about the products really quick. And by the way, if you're watching and you have questions, you may have caught this one before, but I mean, by all means, plow away with those questions because it's what I'm here for. I want to do these live product demos where I talk about what the parts are that I use when we do our custom builds, whether it's a GTR or a Honda Civic, doesn't really matter. It's just the fact that we're using good parts and we want them to be available to you guys. Also, let me know if the audio is cool, if everything else seems like it's dialed in. I know last time there was a couple mentions about the quality just dropping in and out. It was getting kind of glitchy. So if that's the case, let me know because I kind of wasted a whole 20-minute video last time. But good. Thank you, brother. I'm glad to know that it's way better. So I'm going to make this a lot more clear and concise than it was last time. So I want to talk about a few things specific to this product line, such as why you would use it, some of the specifics about what the parts are that are available, and then just little things that I kind of think are an awesome critique about the parts, what I think about them. So the first thing, let me get this set to a nice little mellow background. There we go. Right. There it is. Okay, so you would use these things. There's all sorts of different types of them. So we've got a small little flexible tube here. Let me unplug that. Now I'm going to plug in the long flexible tube. This is something that you would have more if you needed just a lot more distance. This is actually what I have back up there on the wall. But it's just a very simple plug and play operation. So as you want to add these things together, I just plugged that in. Now I can take that strip that I did have in before and just like Legos, just add it right onto this. And it's super easy to plug in, to disconnect. It's a nice tight fit. You can put everything over this weather stripping or heat shrink to make sure that that connection isn't going to come undone. But I know Jack has some issues with when they're in an engine bay and they get hot, he feels like they can come disconnected easier because the plastic gets soft, and that makes sense, right? So, but as we go, we have all these different types. So we've got these little guys here, short strip. You can put those things on roll cages, on interior, under seats, anything like that. This thing would also be dope for underneath the seat. I was saying in the last stream that I used to, back in the day, have a little license plate frame that, figure it's roughly that shape. And it would be underneath my seat. So it just put glow under the seat, to the front, to the sides, the back, everything else. So inside of a car, this is super dope and easy to use. And then you've got other types of sections that they have available. So this is a large, it's a 24-inch strip. It's very rigid. So this would be easier if you're mounting underneath the car because then it's just got that rigidity. It's not going to droop or worry about it snagging or catching on anything. And all of them have the same ends. So this guy will then plug in. So I've got all these things just linked together. And it's pretty easy stuff. It's pretty simple to work with. The magic behind it all is this unit right here. This is the actual XK Chrome Bluetooth unit. It has 2 different outputs. So that means that if I want to have my interior on this one, my underglow or engine bay or something like that on this one, I can control them independently of each other on this app, and will let me choose which zone I want. So in this case, if I tap right here, it's one zone. That's hard to see. And then if I had multiple different zones hooked up, then it's going to display all of those. I can have up to 12. That means, any part of your car that you want to have these things hooked up on, it's going to be a heck of a lot easier than if you are trying to run all sorts of individual apps that you have to open and control independently of each other. One app does everything, and it's got memory. So if I really like a setting like the one that I have in the background, I could dial that thing in, make sure that every time it sees power, it's just going to default to that. So that's literally my favorite option for this, especially when we do crazy GTR jobs where it's got demon eyes and angel eyes and it's got underglow and all these different things on there. To set that up, to have to dial in those colors for each zone every time you turn it on does not make any sense. But if you have the ability to save those presettings that you've dialed in yourself, so if I want it to change from green to purple, then all I have to do is save the little animation that I have here on my phone, slide over, I can modify it, and I can choose different options here and save it as the default. And then once it's saved, now anytime, even if I change it to something else, clearly that's different, right? Then all I have to do is turn it off and back on, setting that I had be the default. So other little options, the fact that now it's changing to my voice. So as I talk, you can see that little sensor, it's picking up the volume. So if I get super close to this mic, it should do a little bit better job. Maybe not, I don't know. Maybe it's because I wasn't talking to the phone. That's why. That, and then this is the other dope setup that I really like. This is gonna respond to movement. So if I'm just barely moving, it's just kind of changing. But if I start getting wild, it's gonna pick up the sensitivity level. So you can dial those things in. Really cool if you have a car, especially imagine a drift car set up with a ton of these things. That's what we're doing with Rad Dan. That's what we want to see for the track. If we can get some night shots, which is burning rubber and smokes everywhere, that's going to be the absolute craziest part about it. Komar, you asked, what is the max length or amount of LEDs on each channel? I believe, I know that there's full documentation on the website and everything, so I can't tell you 100% certain, but I think it's something like 3 or 4 amps per channel, something like that. So that's a lot of LEDs, really, when you look at how much you would have to push these things, how many you would have to add together to max out a channel. It's a fair amount. And you can always get boosters. So there's not really any limit, if that makes sense. You can always just run these things straight to a booster and then put as many as you want. So this is the beauty of it too. When it hooks up, it just has one little power plug that goes into the main unit. And so that gives it power and ground. Hook it up at your battery. And then it even has this nice little kill switch. So that's what I used a second ago to turn it off and turn it back on. And then your outputs. This is a little trigger wire that you can set up so that if you want to program something in to only come on when this thing is triggered right here, like when the doors open on a car. I've got a guy in Hong Kong. He wants to have his lights be where anytime he opens the door to his car, everything turns purple. He can do that. He can do whatever he wants. You can program it all inside here. It saves whatever settings that you've told it to do. And then as the parts are mounted throughout the car, you've got super easy to use wire harnesses that just connect everything up. So you've got the same little connectors. These are that I was talking about before. It's a proprietary little connector. It's just so damn simple to plug these things in and unplug them, disconnect, run them anywhere on the car that you want. And that's it. It's all there. So I do have one other cool little part here. This is a splitter that they use. So if you want to connect a bunch of different areas together and you don't want to like splice wires, you just plug it all in together. What up, Joe? How you doing, brother? Nice to see you, man. So yeah, if you're not using these things, Joe, you should definitely get involved. Anybody in the lighting business should definitely try to make everything as simple on them as possible, meaning you don't want to spend 8 hours doing something that should only take you 2 if you use better parts, right? because realistically, you're not going to bill for 8 hours. You're probably only going to be able to bill for 2. So I know that's something that I've always struggled with, is if I'm going to be telling people that there's a price, how much to add this, how much to add that. Everybody asks. It's really hard to tell them, okay, well, I'm gonna have to work on your car for 8 hours. It's gonna be $100 an hour. It's $800 for me to put these parts on your car. And they're like, but they only cost $200. You're saying it's gonna cost $1,000? Like, yup, pretty much. So if I could tell that guy he could get the same setup for $400, he's gonna be a happier guy, because obviously spending 4 times the cost of the parts just for the installation is a hard pill to swallow. But that's what it is. That's just how this stuff goes. You're going to pay more for custom for the labor side than any other option that you could possibly have. So I think when it comes to pricing things out, people often shoot themselves in the foot. I'm one of them for sure. I don't care if I build somebody $10,000 for a job. If that involves me working to the point where when you break it down, I'm only making $6 an hour, then why am I doing this? I should be flipping burgers, right? There's no reason to be a specialist and to be the guy and people come to you if you're not making any money doing it. Like, I got to feed my kids. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, these are the parts that I like to use because I like to feed my kids. You know, it's what it is. There's not a whole lot besides that. This is a cool new part that they just came out with. It's what's actually powering all of this right now. I only have one channel hooked up because I have one tiny little driver. So let me turn the brightness up. Woo! And I'm going to unplug this and show you what it actually looks like. So this is a single little output. Damn, so I have an Angel Eye hooked up right here. It's super dope. I hooked it up so that I can adjust the brightness. That's a little better. Okay, so this is the single channel addition that you can just add in. So let's say you've got 2 channels hooked up. You've got your interior and your engine bay, and it's going nuts. And then finally you're like, you know what? I want to add some color changing twist and demon eye bulbs into the headlight. It's not hard. You don't have to open up the headlights. Just a simple product to add on. But you don't want to spend another $100 on the XK Chrome controller that I showed you before. You can add a single channel, and this thing actually turns on and off just by pushing that one little button on there. So it's basically everything from an XK Chrome, but it's all packed into one tiny little unit. So as you see right there, as I'm messing with it, it's going to change those channels. And then it works the same exact way with memory, where if I turn it off and turn it back on, it's going to default. That it should have been the other day. Damn, let me dial that back because that's freaking bright. Woo! And this is going to be added to the website. So this live stream will just be something that accompanies all of these products that are listed on here. So as I continue to add all the products to the site, I even think that from the video yesterday, I'm going to have to add those products to the site. I haven't carried them for quite a while. It involves dealing with Korea and having them ship out product and kind of sitting on a bunch of stuff. And then I don't know. It's hard. I only want to do it to help you guys because it's not about the money. Like, there's no money in that. It's kind of terrible to be packing big, long boxes for those circuit board strips that you saw in the video yesterday. But I'll do it. I'll do it because, man, it's going to just help a lot of people learn about sequential lighting and, I don't know, doing the stuff that I did in the past. So anyway, if you guys are watching this, you want to hit the like button. Looks like a few of you already had. And yeah, anybody who's watching the replay of this, most of you guys won't catch my live streams when it's in the morning like it is right now, because you're probably at work, you're doing something, and watching Chris's face glow is, I don't know, not always top priority. But I did want to go over it all again because I just love these parts. I love the company. They're great to work with. And I need your guys' help to blow them up on social media, because the only place you see anything about them is in their paid ads. And I really think that we need to show them that their Instagram should be blowing up. So if you haven't, go over to the XK Glow Instagram. It's just XK Glow on Instagram. Follow them, comment on something, whatever. Just hashtag FlyRyde fam all over their Instagram. And what I want to see is that account gets blown up so we can start working with them, doing cool collaborations and giveaways for you guys, where when we're putting out content like that, if we do something on your car, then you can win some free product. Or let's say you have one of their parts and you want to get more, it's probably a good way to get some free stuff. So I need your guys' help to do that, because if you're not doing it, then they're not really going to buy it. But if they start seeing that these types of videos, even this live stream, if it in turn makes new sales for them and it helps other vendors find out about it and start buying their products, that's what's going to keep this channel sponsored and going and moving forward. So we do sell all this stuff. I do like that you guys can buy the things on the site, but more importantly, for guys that don't buy from me, that are running their own little company and they want to be using parts that save them, this is what I recommend. Absolutely. There are other parts. I was asked last time in the live stream about aluminum casings and things like that you can put under the car for extra strength. You can, you don't have to. This is going to solve a lot of the problems when it comes to the time involved. Something ever breaks, something like this little connector right here gets messed up, you can always just pull the part off. You've still got all the other stuff still working. Get a replacement for this, plug it in, and it's good to go. So that goes for all the different pieces. You can control these things, or I'm sorry, you can mount these things super easy. They come with a lot of good stuff. I'm not going to get into a bag of hardware, but I mean, if you want to screw something into place so that it's never going to have issues and a part ends up breaking later on, unscrew it, swap it out, put the new one on, you're good. So that's it, guys. I am happy that this time the walls were changing, that I got a little angel eye ring that I can adjust the brightness on now when I live stream. And I'm glad that the quality was better this time. So if you want to keep learning more about the parts and the skills and the business of building custom lights, smash the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Watch what I have coming out, because there's a whole lot of good coming. And it's all free. Just watch on YouTube. We got the online course for guys that want to take it further and learn more and actually dive in, where I can just give crazy, crazy long, multiple hour installation videos and just all the tips, everything that I know. That's coming. I'm pumped on that. That's called the Lightsman. So if you're interested in becoming a Lightsman, you should definitely hit me up, or just send an email to the link that I'll put in the description down there. And I don't know, is that where the subscribe button is? I think so. If not, then my bad. It's somewhere else. But I'll throw cards and all this stuff, links right there, links to the products that I put in the video. And yeah, there'll be a lot more coming. All right, guys, enjoy. I appreciate you watching and spending any time with me today. Take care, and I'll see you on the next live stream.